Peace, family. I hope all is well. I hope your day is going well. I hope you're having an awesome Thursday. Guys, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Again, please hit the like button. Again, please hit the like button. Also, share and subscribe. Again, share and subscribe, you guys. Also, make sure you go to dynastymir.com and also visit Donfo.Africa. Let me pull it up real quick. Donfo.Africa. We are rolling to Sierra Leone. We are rolling to Sierra Leone November 20th through December 3rd. Again, we are rolling to Sierra Leone November 20th through December 3rd. And guess what, y'all? Guess what? Guess what? Again, guess what? Citizenship is available to those who qualify. Again, citizenship is available to those who qualify. Once again, we are rolling to Sierra Leone, November 20th through December 3rd. Make sure you go to donfo.africa to learn more. And we are rolling to Nigeria in about 2 weeks. Wow. We're rolling to Nigeria in about 2 weeks. So listen, if you want to roll, if you're listen, last minute like me sometime, and if you want to roll to Nigeria, go to downfo.africa. Please visit downfo.africa. And we will love for you all to join us there. And then the gear, as you can see, I have on the E5 is Dope shirt. This is the E5 is Dope shirt. Make sure you visit ilamir.com. Again, please visit ilamir.com. If you would love to have a shirt, again, visit ilamir.com. Go to the site and buy all of your official Ilamir gear, everyone. Again, go support and buy your Ilamir gear. You'll really appreciate the support. What else do we got going on? I think that's it. I think that's it for the announcements. But again, guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Again, please hit the like button. Now, today's topic, and we're not just going to be focusing on Leopold and Paul Kagame, but just in general. This is just an observation. And if you guys disagree with me, I'm going to open up the lines here in about, let's see here in about 30 minutes, about 30 minutes, we'll open up the lines. And if you disagree, you are more than welcome to call in and tell me and share with me how and why you disagree. Again, you are more than welcome to call in and let me know why and how and all that good stuff, why you disagree. But this topic is really inspired by Liberia. And I asked a simple question a couple shows ago. We did a show on Liberia, and I asked a simple question: if Liberia was colonized by the French or the English, again, if Liberia was colonized by the French or by the English, would the indigenous Samuel Doe, would he have done what he did if Liberia was colonized by white people? Well, we have seen white people tied up on those poles and killed on national television and then broadcasted to the world. Well, we have seen that. Would that have happened? Answer is no. Because the reality is, Black people globally, we hate our own more than we do the people who colonized us. Same thing in Congo. I have Congolese friends who hate Kagame. Again, I have Congolese friends who hate Kagame. But it seems as if they hate Kagame more than they do Leopold. And you guys have seen the images of Congolese with their arms being cut off. The Belgium, led by Leopold, cutting arms off, cutting hands off, cutting feet off in these mines in the Congo because they weren't meeting their quota. You have the Belgium, led by Leopold. Literally, if an African child, a child now, this is happening to children and adults, if they didn't meet their quota in the diamond mines, whatever you want to call it, they got amputated. They got amputated. They got amputated. But for some reason, a lot of these Congolese are more upset at Kagame. For some odd reason, they're more upset at Kagame. I mean, you had Patrice Lumumba, who was assassinated by the CIA, the French, the Belgium, all played a role in the assassination of Patrice Lumumba. All of them. But they don't have that same energy for these countries versus what they have for Rwanda. And I can go on and on and on and on. It's just it's very odd to me. It's very odd. And I have a theory. The reason why a lot of these African countries do not have the energy or contempt or hatred towards the West, we'll say the West, like they do their fellow African brothers and sisters, because they know or they want or they're going to use, a lot of them, not all, we'll say some, not all, they desire to be in the West so much. Again, they desire to be in the West so much that they are not going to criticize the West like they do their African brothers and sisters. That's my theory. Again, they want to be in the West so bad. Not all, but some. They want to be in the West so bad that they will not criticize the West. In fear of the West closing the doors, closing the gates. That they won't criticize the West for that reason, but they'll criticize their own African brother and sister. That's my theory. I could be wrong, but that's my theory. Bonus, what's call in, guys. Listen, we'll open up the lines. Call in. If you think my theory is off, go in and call in. Yeah, but Mobutu was a sellout. That's the thing. You're more upset at Kagame than you are Mobutu and Kabila. Mobutu took billions from the Congo. Kabila, his father and the latter, his son, took billions from the Congo. But you're mad at Kagame? Kagame, Museveni, and their party should be held accountable for plundering the Congo. Mobutu plundered the Congo for like 30 years. But you're mad at Kagame. Go ahead. Go ahead, Reddy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm Congolese. Yeah, I'm born in Congo, Kinshasa. So now I live in the island. So for me, like, people come, like what you say, like, we hate Congo, we hate Kagame, or hate the West. Congolese history, many people now, even African people, who don't understand it. What Rwanda is doing in Congo, nobody's talking about it. Over 12 million Congolese died by the Hutu-Tutsi. I don't know if you know that there's tribes called Tutsi in Rwanda.
Yeah.
They are like, what's the name? There's two tribes, Tutsi and Hutu. So those rebels in Congo, majority of them, they are Tutsi. I think everybody know about it, yeah? So those people, they're causing trouble in the Congo. I'm not trying to say like in all Rwanda, like they are terrorists, they all do terrorists in Congo. No, not all of them. Because we have also the Rwanda living in Congo. They are Congolese in the east of Congo. Now they live there for maybe 100 years ago, I think so, long time ago, they lived there. They're Congolese. Which one said, now we don't hate Kagame, but we hate those African people. They try to destroy Africa for their own interest. We have people like that in Congo, not just Rwanda. We have also the Congolese people who are destroying Congo, not just Rwanda, but we see more African people like, let's say Kagame. Kagame is doing things for his country, good for his country. But if you see all those rebels, Rwanda is backing those rebels to fight in Congo. Why are you backing them? Like me, I went to school. I studied history of America. Yeah, I know everything. Let's say the way white people they treat you in America. Yeah, let's put this way. Now Africa people or Asia people go to America, they start treat you like that. Africa people go to Africa, start treat you like that, like the way people treat you. You're gonna like those people because of those things? No, that's what I say. We don't hate Kagame, but those people they do the work of those Leopold done long time ago. Rwanda people do the same thing now. Those people, not all Rwanda, but majority of Tutsi, Hutu, Tutsi, they do the same thing. Go to France 24, check that. Go to all those. I don't even trust them, but you can see sometimes those white people they say the truth. I don't like what Belgium did. No, we condemn that. What they did in Congo back in years ago, we condemn that. But I have no power. Anything I can say down there, nobody care. Only our president. You see, I don't know if you see what happened in Congo a few weeks ago. The king of Belgium was in Congo. They bring some teeth of Lumumba, something like that.
All right, they brought his tooth, Lumumba's tooth. Yeah.
For me, that's embarrassment. But anyway, I'm not a politician. I cannot do anything. So okay, the politician, they take it, they do whatever they want to do. They try to make a peace, all this. Those people, the guy, they even apologize. What the Belgium did long time ago. We do hate that. We don't like it. If you go to Belgium now, ask, have family in Belgium. Have big family in Belgium. You ask them, majority of them, they're not happy what the Belgium did back in the day. But what can we do? The white people have power. They have everything. They control Africa all over the place. In Congo, if you go to Congo today, we don't try to say like, oh yeah, we don't want to condemn the Belgium or the white people because we don't want to come to Europe. No, not because of that. Just we don't have a power to say anything. Our politicians, for me, I feel like they are puppets. They have to do nothing. So basically, what I try to say, we African force, yeah. I'm a Bantu, yeah. I'm a Bantu man. We African, we don't really like each other. Not everybody you see as dark like me is a black. No. Let's just go straight to the point, yeah. You know, we are let's put the Somalia, let's put some of the Tutsi, they're dark like me, yeah? But then they're not that. For them, they see they are different race. They feel that they are like they are Arab, they feel like they are those type of people. So for me, the way I think, yeah, those people, many of them come to in the Bantu side because Africa, we are down like south, yeah, down. Because Congo is big in the middle anyway. So those people, they come down there to destroy Africa, to control, to cause trouble. For me, I think those people, Tutsi, and all those people like the Somalia, all those, you know how they look like. They nose look like this, their face look like straight. No, we don't hate them, but we hate what they are doing. They try to say, oh yeah, we are black, yeah, because of the dark, that's why it's called them black. No, we are different. We are different. We are dark, but we are different. You know, people just come here talk about Congo. Oh yeah, you talk about Congo anywhere, anyhow. Read the story about Congo, then you understand. We don't hate Kagame. Very good what Kagame is doing. His country is good. For what happened in 1994, he tried to change everything to bring the country good. I see people, oh yeah, Rwanda, the cleanest country in the world. Good. Everything's good. But why you supporting the rebel group? Why? Why Kagame, he went to, what's that country? He went to Angola. Why Kagame, he went to Angola if he's not supporting the rebel group? Why not rebel group, the leader of rebel group himself come to present them? Why Kagame came down to sign peace agreements? Ask me question. Ask me that. Tell me that answer. Why? You are president of Rwanda. If they ask you, oh yeah, we need peace agreement, I need to send for the rebel leader himself should come to the table, say, oh yeah, we need this, we need this, we need this. So basically, that part of Congo, east of Congo, there's so many minerals. There's so many minerals. Go to Google, check it. If those electric cars they're making, those minerals come from the east of Congo. In the world, we produce over 75% of quota of those Tesla they're buying, those battery. Those money, there's no, but those battery, they don't make them in Congo. I live in Ireland, in European Ireland, this country beside UK. I don't live in France. I live in Ireland. My parents brought me just to get better education, to have good life. And I also marry here. You know, we need to learn something, like, you know, to learn much about country. Like, I don't know much about many countries, but I'm not going to come just to talk anyhow. Oh, we hate Kagame. Sorry, man. I know you just say that's your show. But we have to understand, Congolese people, we are very calm people. We mind our own business. You don't go and see Congolese people do stupid things. No, we mind our own business in a nice way. But some African, we welcome everybody. But some African come to our country, try to destroy our country. Mainly the Rwanda, the Uganda, few Tanzania also. There are a group of those people that come together like a dictatorship. That's what, for me, what Kagame is a dictator. Kagame, Museveni, they are a group of dictators. The few last dictator in Africa. That's what the dictator do. They can build a nice road, say like, oh yeah, I'm doing good for the country. Later on, you see another massacre starting happening. Now I'm telling you, now there's a war going on in the east of Congo now. Million people are dying, young baby, children. You know, we need to.
So with the war that's going on in the Eastern Congo, what's the president of the Congo doing about it? Like, why isn't he not protecting his borders? Like, you know.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah? Those people, they cannot protect their own people. You understand that? You know, Congo, we have embargo. We cannot buy weapons. You know that? I don't know if you know about it. Who give us embargo? They say America, United States, France, what's that country again? United Kingdom, France, and Belgium. Only country support us it was a summit in the United Nations. It was only Ghana and Russia and another country, I forgot, Nigeria, I think so. They try to support us so that they can lift the ban so that we can buy weapons to protect our people. Also, just want to say, inside Congo government, we have people like, you know, they try to what can I say? They cannot protect their own people. They work for their own interest with their own family, stealing billion. You can see someone come to them in power. After a few months, he become a million, start buying house in Europe, building all over the Dubai. You know, they can protect, but they don't want to. Like, you know, it's like they want people to remain poverty, so that they can control them. That's what they want. If they know, like, oh yeah, those people are getting smart, they're getting richer. Oh yeah, we can vote them out. Like in Europe here, people can vote their president out. But this UK prime minister done some stupid thing. He resigned. For us, we don't resign easily. Those people, they cannot do nothing unless population we kick them out by force, or they're gonna be like a civil war thing like that. You know.
All right, let me pass it to hey Skywalker. You had some background noise playing. That's why I had to mute you guys. Do me a favor, hit the like button again, please. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. Skywalker, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Skywalker, we can hear you. Skywalker, do me a favor, call back in. African Pioneer, go ahead. African Pioneer.
Hey, Dynast, you guys hear me good?
We hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, brother, and Paul Kagame, he's doing a wonderful job for his, and for Rwanda, and Congo, they played a big role in the genocide because there's a lot of Hutu militia in Congo. You have to know that there's a lot of Hutu militia in Congo. So all Kagame is doing right now is he's looking at the interests of his country. On top of that, revenge. Revenge is not good, but that's what Congo did before. Congo, they were helping the Hutu militia. So now that Kagame is doing that, everybody's complaining about Kagame, Mobutu, and the what do you call the president now? Who is it? And the son of the guy that who got shot. And
Kabila.
he's stealing his, yeah, Kabila, yeah, and he's stealing,
Yeah,
and
Kabila is not
Joseph,
president anymore. Though. He's
well,
not
he's
president
not,
anymore, right?
yeah, but whoever it is, Joseph Kabila and
He's not president.
his
Sorry,
son,
he's not president.
I know he's not president, but I'm saying he stole a lot of money from Congo. The son, the father was
Yeah,
good,
yeah, of course.
he was doing a good job, but Kabila, he stole a lot of money from the country, but nobody's talking about that. But
Of course, we're
everybody's
talking about it.
complaining,
That's what I already
about
say about it.
Kagame. Kagame, all he's doing,
Oh,
brother, all we're saying is that Kagame is looking at the interests of his country. If he doesn't look at
of
the
course,
interests of
not.
Rwanda, anytime, oh, listen. Anytime, anytime the Hutu militia can come back and can do the same thing that they did back in 1994.
Can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, brother.
The Hutu, the Rwanda belong to who? The Tutsi and Hutu. That's right, isn't it? No, the question. The Rwanda belong to the two tribes, Hutu and Tutsi. That's right, right? No.
African Pioneer, you there? African Pioneer, you there?
No, it's not there. Listen, bro. I'm trying to say this here. Rwanda is a two tribes country, Tutsi and Hutu. In 1994, I think I don't know how age I was very young, but there was a tribes war. You try to say like Congolese people helping Rwanda genocide. No, there's no way Congolese people helping Rwanda. Those clash become when the Belgium caused those clash with those tribes. The Belgium caused this problem in Rwanda. If you read the history, you watch the movie called this makes some movie Hotel Rwanda. Watch the movie, understand that. Those people, they run away from Congo, and the Rwanda say they try to come in to kill the Hutu. Why can you kill the Hutu? I don't understand. But that country belongs for both of you. Why can you come here say oh yeah, this guy we just come here to kill the Hutu, or the Hutu gonna come back after one day? No, the Hutu won't come back one day. We give them. Basically, those people they were what's called them? They were refugee. They come to Congo as a refugee. They stay in Congo, not just the Hutu, the Tutsi also. Go to YouTube, just typing the Tutsi in Congo. You see the Tutsi in Congo. They have a Congolese passport nationality. They live down there. Some of them they're in the army now. They try to kick them out the army because majority of the rebel in Congo they are Tutsi. So basically, they have their own problem. They bring that to Congo to fight in Congo. I don't know if you understand that. They have their own problem in their country. They bring them to Congo to fight their war in Congo. Why not all the Tutsi to go back to Rwanda, fighting Rwanda over there? Easy. Because Rwanda only 4 million people. When I go to Rwanda, fight everybody, go to Rwanda, fight over there instead of come to Congo. It's not making sense. Because the only thing I see, like, there's the Bantu tribes of the Bantu and the children of the Arab, the Somalia, the Tutsi, those people, they come down to Africa to cause trouble with the Bantu. It's a tribes war. Don't think because it's black. Kagame, what he's doing his country is good for his country. That's good. I don't mind. That's good. Bravo for him. It's good. But don't try to go like, we need revenge. Because if you go back to revenge to the Tutsi, Hutu, the Hutu gonna come back to you too. It's gonna be nobody wants 1994 to come back again. Nobody want that. What for? Why you go to my shed killing your neighbor for? Nobody want that. Why not you come together as a Tutsi and Hutu, fix all your problems, build a country. That's what Kagame he say himself. I listen to him. So you come today, say like, oh, the Tutsi gonna come back. So basically, in Rwanda, so you believe one day 1994 is gonna happen again. So that's true. This guy said that, Tutsi guy, he said that himself here. Everybody can say anything, man. I'll just start here.
All right, go ahead, Jude. Jude,
Can I say something?
go ahead.
Yeah, you can.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dinah. Yeah, your topic on this, on what you, the question is very pertinent, right? Especially when it comes to why do Africans hate each other. I've traveled, I live in the state, right? When I came to the state, I thought every black person was united as well. But I realized that there are also hatred in America amongst black people in America, right? And it's not only in Africa, in other countries as well. You go probably to the Caribbean,
Oh, I
you
agree.
have the same
Absolutely.
hate
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Go ahead.
right, right. So you have the same hate among black people. And in Africa, right? When people say Africa, people just assume that the Africa is made up of black people. But in Africa, you'll find different races. Asia, and you think the Asia or Chinese, but you have people from India that look more darker than the other people on the other side or in the Middle East. They're all different people, right? You come to Africa, you have the Bantu, and you have the North, the Arabs in the North. You have people in the East, and you have people in the South that look probably maybe some kind of Caucasian or really darker. Now, this is the thing. Why do Africans hate each other, right? Colonization made Africans to hate each other. What this brother is saying, he might be wrong and sometimes he might be right, but because of colonization, we assume that, oh, he's from Congo, I'm from this country, I'm from Cameroon as well. And that has caused division, right? Because if you see the Congo, the Hutus in Congo are the same people in Rwanda, the Hutus in Rwanda. And based on what this brother is talking, he's a Hutu. From the physical features that I see, he's a Hutu. And so what he is talking about is a hatred of a Tutsi, because and that's how things are starting, because when the Europeans came, they make it in such a way that they favor certain tribes. They give them power, they give them education, they give them, ability to think that the other person that lives on the other side is not as good as you. So a person that is to feel like he's more powerful, or he deserves to rule than a person that is not Tutsi. At the same time, a Tutsi person sees the same thing.
Hey,
And it goes around in all countries in Africa.
Judah, there's a lot of feedback. I'm gonna mute you and I'm gonna let Reddy respond. Oh, go ahead, Reddy.
Oh no, like I just say, like, you say like I can be wrong, yeah, but the Hutu, they are Bantu. I would explain that. I don't know if the guy understand. The Hutu, they are Bantu. If you see Hutu, they all look like me, Hutu. So that's what I say. There's the tribes. Of course, the colonizer make all those things. We understand that, yeah. But there's an Africa proverb. They say this, yeah. If the enemy, there's no enemy within, the enemy outside cannot do us no harm. Yeah? I think most of you know, understand that, because we first are enemy each other, among each other we are enemies. That's why you see everything's like that. We cannot now we live in 24th century. We see blaming the West, or the white, or the West. We see blaming them. Why not we sit down like Arab, like Asia, try to fix everything together? Why not? Why not we not work together? I never been Rwanda before. The only country I never be, many countries in Africa never be down there. Not because you say you're from Cameroon. I love Cameroon. Cameroon, they're Bantu. I know that. Everybody know about Cameroon. Cameroon, we collaborate more with the Cameroon, more with Cameroon. I have more friends in Cameroon, Ivory Coast, all those countries, Senegal, Mali. I have a family there. We don't, you not talk
Right,
about
but
hate. We
when
talk
you
about those mass.
when you talk, man, you talk about countries like French countries. This is the thing. Cameroon is not only Bantu. Half of Cameroon is like Fulani and Arabs and all of that. So,
And it's,
but this is
yeah,
the thing. This is the thing. I don't want to make it a tribe because you feel like, but being I'm Bantu, but I really don't, because I don't want to make it in such a way that tribes are more, superior, or being Bantu is this or that. The fact is, why do Africans hate each other? That's the thing. It's not only Congo, it happens in
okay,
Cameroon as well. Even in Cameroon, we
okay,
are fighting. It's the same thing.
okay,
So
okay.
it's not the fact that, it's just the fact that the Europeans left us in such a way that I see a person from the other side as not good. That's just the mentality, and we have to come together, man.
Of course,
You
yeah.
have to, there's no way. Take for instance, Rwanda and Congo used to be the same thing. It was colonized by Belgium.
Yeah.
It was colonized by, even in Congo, there's also problems between people in the south of Lubumbashi and the people in Kinshasa because they wanted to break Congo into half. And Mobutu fought for it. Even in Congo, there are the people that speak Lingala and the people that speak Swahili in the east. There's a problem between the people that speak Lingala in the west and the people that speak Swahili in the east of Congo. There's a problem.
No, like not just a problem, but majority Congolese, they have so many languages. One of the languages is Swahili, we understand that. But we try to say, like, those people speak Swahili, we have no problem with them. My family speaks Swahili. Like over 200 languages, you understand that, in Congo. Swahili is not because it speaks Swahili, I hate it because Swahili. No. When I was talking about the Tutsi, I not hate the Tutsi, I just say, like, group of the Tutsi that causes some trouble in Congo. That's what I say. It's not like I hate all the Tutsi. No, it's not like that. All the 9/11 is not me, like, all the Muslim, they want the bomber the two tower in New York. No. But people look like, if you work in United States in 2001, I don't know what year, 19 and something. People think like, oh, all the Arab, they are terrorists. Henny, that's true, no? If you see Arab, oh, yeah, he's a terrorist. They become more racist because Arab are terrorists. They call them terrorists because he's Arab. He look like Osama bin Laden. That's what I'm trying to say. In Congo, there are a group of Tutsi. They try to fight the Hutu in Congo. We don't know why. Oh, they come to Congo to steal the mineral in Congo. We don't know which one.
No,
why they transpose that war?
You prefer your minerals to be controlled by Belgium, other African countries.
Judah. Let me pass it to Al. He's been waiting. Go ahead, Al, and then we'll pass it to Larry.
Good evening, brothers and sisters, everyone on the panel. Yes, Brother Dynasty, everything blessed, yeah? Can you hear me? Brilliant.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Fantastic. Yeah, very important topic. I mean, this, I think, was one of the best topics ever, Us being West African and listening to the brother from Congo, I actually feel quite emotional right now because I feel like we have done release so long, it's really important topic. I mean, we should start focusing from the bottom, from Central Africa to West Africa to where we are today, and build one strong Niger-Congo family. I said that the last time at the end of the Nigerian topic. If you look at West Africa, from Senegal, my Congolese brother mentioned, all the way down to Congo, it's one people. It's one people called the Niger-Congo family tree.
Okay, go ahead, Larry. Unmute yourself, Larry.
If you look at
Al, you keep your connection out. Do me a favor, Al. Your connection is going in and out, brother. Try to call back in, okay? All right, go ahead, Larry.
Thanks. In regards to the question about Africans hating other Africans, I don't think it's unique to Africa. I live in England. I mean, there was a time in England's history, there was the 100 Years' War with France. And of course, you had the First World War, the Second World War, where they fought against each other. And then I remember being a teenager in the 90s, you had what was going on in Bosnia, Serbians, Croatians, people from Kosovo, they're all fighting each other. So it's not unique to Africa. There's a lot of pride in the tribalism, if you want to say it, and there are people who are smart enough to play on that. Politicians, multi-corporations outside of that, they play on these tribalistic views, and they say the reason why you are being suppressed, the reason why the economy is bad, is because this tribe are looking out for their own. So you want to get rid of that problem, you need to get rid of that tribe. And unfortunately, too many people fall into the trap of believing that, and they then attack the other tribe. And one of the most basic things I will notice is at the root of the problem, we can talk about colonialism and everything, but to me, I try and simplify it. I always notice whenever the economy is really bad, unemployment is high, people can't find jobs, then that whole scapegoating comes out, and then you play the game where you point at the other tribe, the other ethnic group, or it's their fault. Whether it was Nigeria kicking out Ghanaians, or Ghanaians kicking out Nigerians, or Equatorial Guinea kicking out Nigerians, or people in South Africa complaining about Nigerians and Somalis and Mozambicans coming into their country. The economy, I know, is whenever there isn't enough money for everyone and people are struggling, they need a scapegoat, and then the politicians, some of the politicians will play on that. But there is no inherent genetic reason why Africans should hate each other. Every day, those Africans on the front line, they deal with oppression, and it gets visited upon them by other Africans. So you can pick any country you want. If you've got Africans on the ground floor, whether it's in Nigeria, like you had the End SARS protests, which I know you know about, who was shooting at those protesters? It wasn't white men with guns. It was their fellow Nigerians, who would be a multitude of different ethnic groups who were killing them. It's the same. You can go to any country. So that's what they see. They see in front of them an African oppressing them. They don't see a white man with a gun. Maybe 50, 60, 70 years ago, that generation would have been different. They would have seen the white man oppressing them the way the South Africans used to. But we live in an age when we see oppression in that part of the world. It's their own skin color. It's their own people. So that's what they look at first. They don't think, oh, let's think about this white supremacist global hegemony. They think my fellow brother, whether he's Hutu-Tutsi, whether he's, Bamakila or whatever, he's the one who's killing me. So I need to deal with that. But that's it. That's the way I see it. You deal with what you see in front of you. That's it.
Yeah, but Larry, even with the differences between Europeans, when it came to Africa, they were able to sit down at the table in 1884, the Berlin Conference, and carve it up. And for some reason, Africans or black people in general are the only group of people that can't come together against a common enemy or foe. But for some reason, whether it be Asians, Europeans, everybody else, when it comes to black people, they get on code. Like, for example, in the Ukraine's at war with Russia. Who are the people complaining about not being able to get out of Ukraine? It was the Africans complaining.
Africans.
So that, I think that's the difference. Yeah, we understand that, World War I, World War II, where Europeans were going to war with each other. But when it comes, to putting them first, they have no problem doing that when, other black people are in the picture. So that, I think that's the difference.
So I'm curious then, from what you're saying, because I'm open to hearing new suggestions. Are you saying then you believe that it could be inherent, or do you think it's a systematic training that has led black people to think that way?
I don't, Larry. I'm trying to figure it out. Like your guess is better than mine. I don't get it. I'm trying to figure it out.
Sorry, can I come in or?
Yeah. Go ahead. One man. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you for having me, and sorry to just interject in your between your conversation and the chat. But there is something that I think is pertinent to this conversation, but we may not be paying too much attention to. So I'm going to send you a link in the private chat, which is quite instructive to what you're talking about. Out of the top 20 most ethnically diverse countries on this planet, I think you'll find that it is the African continent that occupies those spaces. Never enough universally. I'll send the link in the private chat now so you can have a look yourself. It's just a literal table of ethnically diverse countries and the diversity in them. So that inherent diversity is really one of the key spaces where the difficulty is. Okay, so let's imagine a country, for instance, that is made up of Germans, the French, the English, and let's say the Italians. That country, no matter how clever they are, they will be in perpetual chaos. Now, that country does exist, and that country is called Nigeria. So, if you have a country where really substantial, quite staid and already satiated and long-standing ethnic nationalities are forced to converge into a nation, then you will get this internal implosion. We're having it to some level in Nigeria, which is where I come from, but in other countries where I don't want to say they are not quite as sophisticated as Nigerians, but in other African countries where they may not be in the place that Nigeria is, that divide, that chasm in the ethnic mix, it cascades and it results in the things that we see in Rwanda, in Congo, etc., etc. So it is the configuration oftentimes, and really a large portion of all of this conversation is attributable to the ethnic compositions of those nations that are not natural bedfellows, that have been forced upon each other. They are natural warring people, historically these people, and they've been forced now into this unholy alliance, and that is what we're seeing spiraling out in a bloodshed that we're seeing all over Africa. So that is really how I see it.
But clearly, that is not the reason why we have problems. Somalia is ethnically the same. They speak the same language, have the same religion. They fought the longest war on the continent. So using that excuse of diversity, America is very diverse, and they are still able to function. Europe, if you like to think that Europe is not diverse, Europe, it is diverse. They have a long list of separatist movement. They still manage to make it work. So, and the reason why I'm saying this to you specifically is because you specifically hack back into tribalism all the time. I said it on your channel today too. He's a Nigerian, he owns a channel. He always goes back to tribalism constantly.
All right, if the host can seize charge of the feed, let me just make one more sentence and then I'll leave because I have other commitments too. So that is my submission essentially, and I've provided you the data just to reflect on, not to say that that is entirely it, but just to reflect on that as part of the overall narrative, because the ethnic composition, and I take that there might well be diversity in Europe, but if you find all over Europe, there's always a dominant hegemony that is then solved by, let's take the United Kingdom, for instance. The United Kingdom, predominance of the English, and then a subsect of the Irish, the Welsh, etc. If you go to France, the predominance is the French. If you go, I mean, you know what I'm saying. Not to say that there's no ethnic diversity diasporally, but the ethnic composition, which is not a willful composition, that is the will of the Africans, is essentially, I think, to the core of what is happening.
Diversity is not toxic. Diversity is not toxic. Hold on. Diversity is not toxic. What is toxic is people like you making it toxic. This is how this Ilozi does it too. They pretend as if it's diversity that is a problem when it's the toxic one that is the issue. I just mentioned to him that Somalia is homogeneous. They speak the same language, the same religion, everything. And they fought the longest war on that continent. They still haven't even recovered from it till today. America has so many different groups in it, and yet they are able to survive. People like that guy are the problems we have in Nigeria today. You see how well spoken he is? He's very educated, but yet he's the most insidious guy. He keeps bringing back tribalism every time he talks. And that's what I consider people like that extremely dangerous, because they're highly educated and they can't back away from tribalism. They hold the continent back, these people. And that's why I felt very passionate, and I hate people like that, because when hate is a strong term, but those people trigger me. Let me put it that way. They really trigger me, and they go around. So even if you go to his channel, just watch the way he talks. Every time it's about Hausa, Igbo, this Yoruba man did this one do that one. Instead of solving the problem for the people that we are facing, he's there talking about the tribes in the countries, talking about religion, all that garbage that has kept us weak. Sorry about that, guys. I just.
Oh no, go ahead, Idris. Go ahead, Idris.
So Niger, you are so right. I was boiling when that guy was talking. That's terrible. First of all, he got it wrong to think that some of the issues he was trying to stay on about tribalism, it's not as common in Africa as he thinks that we got to go to war because of tribalism. Yes, we have problems with tribalism, but it's not as common when it comes to war in Africa with tribalism. So he simplified it in a way that's not really true. We have those disagreements and disunity when it comes to tribes, but it's not true that we go to war in Africa as common. Yes, Rwanda had it, but some of the things we were talking about is not really tribe that led to those wars. Those wars were for other, mainly economic issues. And someone else was talking, and the person was talking about whenever there is issue with, we lean to tribe. Xenophobia is there, but it's not as common too. That's another issue. Majority of the time we do economic issues, and more meanwhile it's not.
Hey, Idris, you're breaking up, brother. Try to call back in. Call back in, brother. Call back in. Okay, Kazorian Empire. Go ahead, Kazorian Empire. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say a few things. I think I want to make some corrections. I don't think that, let's say, South Africans or Africans in general are xenophobic. Because we mentioned, why do they have more hate for other Africans than whites? In general, whites are not coming to their country in any significant number. So as the brother Eleri was saying earlier, you're going to blame the person who's closest to you and the person that you can attach some form of blame to. And in general, it's other blacks from other regions in Africa who are actually coming to their country, and they believe, they built it to a certain level where they have access to medical care and also housing. So they feel like these are leeches. And this is not, unique to Africa. In the UK, it's the same situation. The Lithuanians, the Polish, and this is one of the reasons why they left Europe. So I think as the country is developing, if you are way more successful than your neighbors, and you feel that your neighbors are coming in and out competing some of your people, or even causing crime in some cases, obviously this is why that xenophobia exists. However, I will say some countries like Kenya are definitely much better than these other countries. We have similar problems, but in general, it never really reaches to a point foreigners are killed, etc. So, and just to answer the final remark with Niger and the diversity thing, some of the most ethnically monolithic countries in Africa have had the worst wars. Somalia is like only about 3 or 4 tribes, right? The Somalis, and also some of the other smaller tribes. That's 30 years of war. In Rwanda, only 3 tribes. It's the Tutsis, Hutus, and the Twa. Massive genocide. Same thing with Burundi. So this idea that diversity is the issue is wrong. The issue in Africa is we just don't have many countries with an idea of a strong nation state. Like even the reason why Ethiopia was never colonized is because, Rastafari made sure that Ethiopia was part of the League of Nations. So they were exempt from the scramble from Africa. Same thing with Liberia in 1847, they got their independence. So they're already seen as a so-called westernized nation. I believe our main issue is lack of coming together, building structures, and actually having a common goal. There's no reason, for example, that the African Union does not have a military alliance on that continent to protect its resources, which is going to be the main warfare in the next decades to come.
Okay, guys, do me a favor, hit the like button again. Please hit that like button. Please hit the like button. Zongo Native, go ahead.
Hello, Dynast. Can you hear me clearly?
Hear you well. Go ahead.
Well, a lot of people have been complaining that the diversity is the issue in Africa. I disagree with that statement. And one thing I can say is that I come from a community in Ghana called the Zongo community. Now, the Zongo community is a predominantly Muslim community in Ghana. It is comprised of several tribes from West Africa. There are tribes from the Hausa community, tribes from the Yoruba community, tribe from neighboring Togo, tribe from neighboring Benin, tribe from neighboring northern Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Sudan, Burkina, who are currently in Ghana today. And this community is comprised of tribes from different regions within West Africa in Ghana. And everywhere you go to Ghana, they have a Zungu community. I have seen diners go to Ghana to make even a video about that particular community. So for people to suppose that diversity is an issue in most African countries is completely false. And most people are not really taking time to do the study in Africa from the lower level. Another thing I also want to add is that people try to conflate like politics with tribes all the time. You know, most of the political elite in Africa, I mean, they have no problem with diversity. You know,
I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
No, the reason why
I think I think a lot of political parties are tied to a certain tribe, and once a certain person in a political party that's tied to a tribe gets elected, for the most part, all his tribal buddies he elects.
No, the point I'm trying to say is that okay, let me just give you a typical example, and I know like Tunija, you come from Nigeria, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I cannot hear you clearly, Tunija.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Tunija, you know, like most of the political parties in Nigeria today, it's not formed primarily from one particular tribe. Don't they come from several tribes?
Yes, they come from several tribes. Yes, they do come from several tribes. They are mixed. They are the major ones. APC and PDP, they are mixed.
Yes, they come from several tribes. Dynasty.
Yeah. No, but if you look at but if you look at Nigeria now, when it comes to positions in office, it's primarily Hausa Fulani who are in those positions.
No, but the tribe is not just Hausa Fulani.
I mean, Obasanjo was
involved for a very long time.
They are in positions of power. They are in some positions of power, but in terms of the position that the federal government allocates, they are all it reflects the national character. In other words, it's from all parts of the country. I don't know. Sometimes Nigerians, they make it look like everybody is Hausa, this is Fulani that is in position, but it's not necessarily accurate. It's like the way America is. Trump is able to appoint family members. So it's similar. When you do that in Nigeria, they make it look like the whole world is. The moment this guy leaves office now and the Southerner comes into office, the same argument will come for the Southerner too. It's just the name of the game.
You understand? So for people to just put, I think Dynasty is doing a very disservice to a certain group, because you listen to one talking point from a particular tribe without listening to other tribes too. Because
Nigeria has a tight reign on this thing. They have national character law where you have to choose people from all the states into your cabinet.
Exactly.
All the states.
Like America, yeah. I came to America and pretty much I just like Dynasty just made it very obvious like the House are in control. Because if they are in control, it means they have the more population than the other tribes. It doesn't mean that they just go to the Yoruba lands and control those places. But the point I was trying to make is that regardless of the tribal differences, they are able to bring their egos and the tribal affiliations aside, and they work together as a political conglomerate just to amass positions in power. The same applies to PDP. The same applies to APC. In PDP, you've seen Hausa and other tribes from Igbos and Yorubas. In APC, the same thing happens as well. If you come to Ghana too, the same thing. Like we have the NPP government, for instance, the majority tribe is the Akans. So it's very obvious that in the political dispensation, you see a lot of representation from the Akan tribe. It doesn't mean that the other tribes do not have that equal share of the representation. But the local people at a local level, hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Go ahead, but I want to go down this list real quick. This is the current cabinet of Nigeria.
So the local people at the local level, they can make tribal laughter at each other, and people just understand it as it's a normal thing. They don't kill people over because someone is affiliated with different tribes. My family originated from different African society before the nation states was created, and we've been living in Ghana for generations. And the Ashanti tribe was the one who gave our people the land to stay in Ghana, the Zongo community. You know, so
all right. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Hey, to Niger. So let's run through this list real quick, okay? All right.
Okay.
President Muhammadu Buhari, Hassan Fulani man, correct?
Yes.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Okay, he's Yoruba.
Yes.
All right. Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari, Hassan Fulani man. Am I right or wrong?
I think Hassan Fulani. I'm not sure. I think it's Hassan Fulani. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Ibrahim Gambari.
I don't know where it's from. I don't know. It could be from anywhere.
We'll
it could be that.
We'll look it up. Hold on. We'll look it up. Yeah. Hold on.
Mm.
Okay, here we go. Hold on. What's the guy's name? Hold on. Ibrahim Abdullah Gambari was born on November 24th, 1944 in Ilorin, Kwara State to a Fulani ruling class. So Hassan Fulani. All right.
Good.
All right, let's
go.
All right, let's go back.
Oh no, it's Fulani.
Okay, let's go back.
Let
me finish.
Yes.
All right. Secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa.
Yes. Let's check that out.
Okay. Minister of Agricultural and Rural Development, Sabo Nanado.
I don't know where it's from. You can check it out. So confirm them.
Okay, let's check it out. Okay. Nano was born on April 11, 1946 in Tofai, Kabasawa, Kano State, Hassan Fulani.
This is Hausa Fulani.
If you actually look at the names, most of them sound like Muslim names, to be honest.
They sound Muslim. You have to understand, there has not been one Hausa president in Nigeria. Do you know that? Nigeria has not had a Hausa president.
Too Nigel, I'm not saying that. Like, I'm not hating, but the question was, or my statement was, that usually when a particular tribe gets into power, they're gonna put their tribe into power. For example, in Sierra Leone, the Mende are in power. Guess what? Just about everyone holding these positions of power are Mende. That's just what it is.
Isn't that what Trump did? This is what people do. They put people that they trust in office, but when it comes to, I think, the cabinet, there's a specific area where the president has the power to appoint people. He has to appoint from all the states. So if you go down, I don't know where that list is. Maybe you should check it. You see that in short, as a matter of fact, it favors people from the south when I actually check that list. So it's not that clear cut. Sometimes Nigerians, they exaggerate these things. They forget that the president of Nigeria in the last dispensation of democracy since 1999, as we speak, Southerners have ruled Nigeria longer than Northern Muslims. Obasanjo was 8 years, Jonathan was 5 years. 5 years, that's altogether 13 years of 22 years. You see what I mean? So the Southerners have ruled longer as we speak. After Buhari finishes, I think it will be equal. So the idea that the North is all, controlling everything is not necessarily true. You have been to Nigeria yourself. Most of the North is not as developed as the South. It's just the fact of the situation. The educational level in the South is higher.
Say that one more time.
Most of the North is not as developed as the South. Lagos is by far the most, the richest city in Nigeria, and it's in the South.
No, to Nigeria, that's just because it's a port. These are port cities in the south, so that's why.
Isn't that what the city
if they had it away, to Nigeria, do you not remember when
maybe they responded to the
steel
North?
situation? Wait, tonight, one second. Do you remember the steel Kabako when they tried to create the refinery nearer the north, away from where the resources were? So they learned from that. So tonight, if they really could, they would just make everything north. It's just the south is where the ports are, man. So it's just strategic.
No, they wouldn't be able to do that. Come on. Okay, let's say that's true. Either way, the south is more developed. So in societies, you have balance of power. If one side dominates everything, you're going to have instability. You see what I mean? So I think sometimes people forget that this is how all countries behave. Like in America now, the Middle Belt, the Bible Belt, and all those areas, they treat them differently than the coastal regions. And for me, if you look at the presidency, that should tell you what is going on in Nigeria. People had to vote Obasanjo in twice, including Northerners. Somebody had to vote Jonathan, that is from Bayelsa, twice. He's from a minority state. No, once they voted him once, and the other time he just inherited it because the president died. So it's not as clear cut that Nigeria is that's extremely tribal.
Okay, Tunaja, I wanted to also add one thing too. Dynast, you live in America and you're a minority in America. If anything at all that you want to support minority in Nigeria, it shouldn't be Yoruba, Hausa, or the Igbo people. There are a lot of minority tribes in Nigeria that you don't even hear of them. They're not even close to even coming to the political atmosphere in Nigeria.
I can't really understand you.
The point what I'm saying is that you, as a black man in America, you might be classified as a minority in America, right or wrong.
Right.
So in Nigeria, the minority tribe is not the Hausa, it's not the Yoruba, it's not the Igbo people. We know the Nupe tribes and other minority tribes. They don't even have access to the political power in Nigeria. So you just compare.
Why is that? Why don't they have access to political power in Nigeria, those little tribes?
Because of the population density. They're not that significant.
They're insignificant, did you say?
Like the population of the tribe is not insignificant to have like influence in the political climate.
But it shouldn't matter if the country is like aspiring to include everyone. There should be people from those regions.
And that's the point I'm trying to say.
That doesn't even make sense. Jonathan is from a minority group. Ijos.
The problem is you keep on ignoring the information that Dynast was actually bringing. He was actually showing us the various people within a political party. And but for some reason, you wanted to ignore that information.
No, I'm not going to ignore it. I can see that. To be fair, I know that too. Some of the people that he appointed are Northerners, but the one that requires him by law they are all spread. I think Chief of Army Staff is from the South, and quite a lot of military positions. They are also distributed all over the country. So it's not. See, people say these things. The moment he leaves office now, a Southerner gets into office, everybody will be on the case of that Southerner. And people.
And also I wanted to make certain thing very clear is that in northern Nigeria, the tribes are not homogeneous like the place where Boko Haram come from. They're not Hausa Fulani people.
Yes.
They're not Hausa. Even if you go to Niger State, there are Nupe people over there in Niger State.
See, for me, I feel bad most. See, I feel bad most for the Hausa people in Nigeria.
Yeah,
Hausa people have not been president of Nigeria once, and they are the largest ethnic group in Nigeria.
Exactly.
Can you even imagine that? That is a mind bender.
Sonny Abacha, was he?
He's not Hausa, it's Kanuri. It's Kanuri.
Yeah, it's not Hausa.
Okay.
He's just a Muslim. Most of them are Muslim, but they don't come from the same tribe.
Hausa make up about 30% of the population, and they've not produced a president once.
Exactly. It's just the Fulani people hijacked the tribe, the Hausa tribe, and they kind of infiltrated the tribe, and they kind of like dominated over the tribe.
What did you say? The Fulani hijacked and infiltrated?
Yes, because of like the Muslim religion that they embrace.
I think the way they like to put it is that they said that during the time when they came in with Islam, the tribes were there. They are Hausa, but they were competing against each other. It's like English and people on England fighting each other. Then some other group came in and united them with Islam, and because of that, they've usurped their elite positions. So that is basically how it is, and it turns out that the majority group themselves have not produced a president. It's crazy.
Exactly, because I know that because I'm a Hausa guy from Ghana, and I sat down with a lot of the Hausa people from Nigeria, and we had this conversation for a longer period. And most of them, they sometimes view themselves as Fulani people, but in reality, they are not even Fulani people. They are Hausa people, like the people of.
I talk about the thing. I'm not interested in like I don't talk about the ethnic tribes. I just talk about it in regards of the North and the South. I mean, if you look at the history going all the way back to the original, the first leader was Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. And then you go down the road and then you look at the Yakubu Gowon, you then see all these other people coming into power. Obasanjo for a short period who was Yoruba, then you had Alhaji Shehu Shagari, a northerner, then you had Buhari taking over with the coup, a northerner, then you had Babangida taking over with another coup, a northerner, and then you had that small period where Shonekon was there, who was not a northerner, and then Abacha took over, another northerner. And so if you look at the whole history, you look at the whole history.
Doesn't mean a tribe.
You can't. Well, I said I'm not talking about it from tribe, because people can be unified. People can be unified, can be from a region. They can be unified from a region. They don't have to be the same ethnic.
So it's a regional problem then. It's not a tribal.
Yeah, you could say that. It's like when the original political parties were first starting out. So you had one party that represented the northern part. You had another party that represented the southwestern part. Then the Delta people said they wanted their own party to represent their own region. We're going all the way back to the 60s now. So you had all these different clans within there, but they were representing each of their region. And I'm more interested in what was brought at the start. How can we get rid of that mindset, that way of thinking? Because I don't think it's disappeared in the continent at all. It is still there. And I'm interested because we were talking about, is it inherently in most people to think like that? What can be done to get rid of that? I mean, I do agree that Africans will hate other Africans who are visiting them with terror because that's what they see. But there is still an underbed of this kind of tribalism. How can we get rid of it? Can it be gotten rid of? That's all I mean.
I wanted to say something.
Let's pass to the NGTO 92. Go ahead.
So, Dennis, to your question about why Africans have hate for other Africans, firstly, one, it has to do with the parents. There are some parents who are still stuck in the past, and they pass this mindset to their children. And there are some, and not only that mindset of, it's just like here in America, where we have those old white people who still have racism and they pass that to their children. It's the same thing that's literally causing that hatred between Africans towards other Africans. We need to sit down with the older generation first, or else we would never move forward. That's what's also hurting Nigeria today, because the older generation still feel like they know better for everybody else. And they're using their tribalism mindset to control everything. Just the other day, go ahead.
Well, let her finish. Hold on, let her finish. Hold on, let her. NGTO 92, you done?
No, not yet. Just the other day, I sat down with my mom and my dad, right? Because they want Tinubu, and I said, I want Peter Obi, right? And we're from the Ijebu tribe. And it's because a lot of the youth want Peter Obi because we see something different. But they're saying that, because they're older generation, they feel they know what's best for everyone. This is why I'm saying that's also why there's so much hatred towards Africans to other Africans. An example, the other day, I was on TikTok the other day, and there were Nigerians having a conversation. And a lot of these Nigerian kids are born in America, right? And the things that they say, I knew for a fact that they learned that from their parents, that tribalism mindset. Because half of these kids, they can't even speak their tongue, they can't even speak their mother's tongue, none of that. But for some reason, that hatred that their father or their mother has spread to them is also what they're spewing out to everyone else. So that's also why there's so much hatred between the tribes. Two, we keep saying that we can't keep blaming the white man or this. Yes and no. And it's not just the white man as well that's also interfering with Africa's situation. White people want Africa to be destructive because they make money from our losses while we lose so much from being divided. They make money from us being divided. Okay? The second part, wasn't it yesterday under one of your posts, there was this guy, he made a post and saying that, I believe that Yoruba people should have, no, he said, I am a Yoruba person, and I believe that Yoruba people should have their own country. And I said, okay, How can you describe yourself as a Yoruba person? Which part of your tribe of Yoruba people that you came from? And then he said that Ijebu. And I said, okay, which part of Ijebu did you come from? Till today, he couldn't answer that question. This is how you know that there are people who out there that just don't want Africa to be one. And I can bet you either this person is not African or not Nigerian. There's just some people out there who just don't want to see African people to be part as one. The reason why that is I was watching the news yesterday. This African, I don't know where he came from. He said Africa is split into 3 different parts. We have the European African, we have the Arabic African, and we have the regular African people. The European African people are the ones who either speaks French or they prefer American status, which Kala will call it Negropean. And then we have the Arabic, which is mostly East African culture, right? And then we have some of the West African culture or Southern African cultures who still tap into their African culture. So we're too divided into 3 parts. And that's also what's holding a lot of this unity between us. So until we can literally figure that out, it's not going to work. If you go to just 2 days ago, you invited a Cameroonian to come and talk about the situation in Cameroon. And it went over a lot of people's head where he says that for him to do a lot of things, he needs to be able to learn how to speak French. He needs to be able to read in French. He has to do everything in French. His own language can't ever be spoken in that country, which it shouldn't be like that. I have friends that are Cameroonian where the English side right now is demolished, literally, because they don't want English speaking people there. So we're too divided by, it's ridiculous. We need to sit down with the parents, let them get on board, or else they'll be left behind. And we also need to understand that at the end of the day, we have Negropean, we have Arabic, and we have the African people. It's just there and it's there to stay. And that's just how I see Africa right now. I'm hoping that in the next 10, 15 years, it changes. But until then, we're going to keep having this conversation over and over. Why do we hate each other? Why do we do this? Why do we do that? It's because of that. It's because of when colonialism came, it caused a lot of friction and a lot of division till today.
In defense of some of the older generations in Nigeria, like the former president, they all said that the stuff should pass to the next generation. And this is why they are on the low key supporting Peter Obi right now. They never wanted Bola Tinubu or Atiku. They actually ruled them out. The former president said nobody over 70 should run. And yet the 2 people running are over 70 now, right now. So they too understand that it needs to pass to the next generation. And and I think this is more subtle, what is happening to our people. You see, that guy that came in earlier on is highly educated and highly intelligent. However, we have internalized certain traits that promotes this division. Where I heard a guy say today that Abiola's greatest mistake, downfall, was getting into politics, and he should have remained in business. I said, but that is actually his greatest accomplishment. That's the only time he showed courage and did something that people remember him for. It's because we don't respect the important things. Then I tried to let him understand. He said, oh, but his family is bearing the brunt now. I said, better to bear the brunt doing the right things than bearing this in enjoying it doing the wrong things. Because you can be enjoying stuff like we hate our politicians because of it. They are enjoying right now, but we hate them. It's creating decay. This and he thought, and I told him, you hate the politicians, don't you? He said yes, but unwittingly you are also promoting some of the things that leads to their creation. You don't value when people make sacrifices. The way they remember NSAS is that it's a total disaster that people died. What they don't remember is that they accomplished everything they wanted.
Tanaja, can I support the brother and also disagree with you on this a little bit? Because I know everyone here is Pan-African, but I want to give a different context here. And I want to actually be devil's advocate for the what you call those guys, the tribalists. And here's a case for the tribalist. The reason why our parents are tribalist is because tribalism is a real thing. So let's say different tribes do have a behavior that you can analyze across time, and you can make a meaningful interpretation from it. In Kenya, I'll give you an example. There's the tribe called Kikuyus. These guys love money, and when they're in power, they steal a lot of land, as they did with the first president and all the way to his current president right now. If you go to Ethiopia, the Tigrayan TPLF, right? When they were in power, I guess they did the same thing. They consolidated more power, strengthened their own regions' defenses. That's why a whole country is going to war against them, and they still can't even win. They stole billions as well. The point is, these tribal actions is when a tribe gets into power, they do abuse other tribes. So of course you have to be tribalist, otherwise you can't survive. If you're out here thinking we're all the same, and other people are thinking, no, you guys are we're going to exploit you, you can't survive in that situation. So tribalism actually is needed for these people to survive. Now, how do you remove the tribal mentality? That's going to take like a lot of equal distribution of wealth, like what's happening in Botswana. When Seretse was in power, he made sure that, for example, the resources belonged to the government, not to individual regions, even though, let's say, his tribe actually occupied the land where a lot of these resources were. That's how you end tribalism, by making sure that the resources, the money, and the development is actually going through all the different regions. Strategically, yes, for example, port cities do need more attention. But the point is, there's a truth: when an African gets into power, he or she does prioritize their own tribe or affiliate tribes. And of course, you must be yourself tribalist, otherwise you will die under that pressure, because you'll be treating them as if they're the same as you, and they will not be treating you as if they're the same as you. Different tribes have different behaviors that you can literally look at. Like in Kenya, I live in Africa right now. If I see a Kikuyu, I just know they're going to try to use you for money. If I see, let's say, a Luo girl, I know that she's going to want a high, lavish lifestyle. Statistically speaking.
Okay, all right, Kazori, come on, bro, dude, come on.
Statistic is true.
No, it's
right?
not, man. It's not. Stop. I mean, come on now. You just ignorant, man. Come on now. That's not true. That's not true at all.
I do agree with one thing he mentioned. I think we could use it as a solution, what Kaizori was saying.
Distribution of wealth, isn't it?
Perhaps the countries should force by law, where each position will be populated with someone from a different ethnic group. So it'll eliminate the possibility of one or two ethnic groups dominating a local government position, or even the cabinet. By law, you should mix it up. You're going to have to force the situation through, because Africans, I don't want to say they're quite stubborn with the tribalist thing. So maybe you're going to have to force it through, so that you're going to have a mix of different people from different ethnic groups.
I think one of the key ones is hate law. I don't like to call it hate speech law. I like to call it unity law. I think like in Nigeria now, they tried to pass it some years ago, and the people turned on it. I was like, but all the countries you like to envy, they all have them, because these laws help to check the leaders from using tribal terms to describe events. Whenever things happen in Nigeria now, they will be using tribal terms. But if you have that law, you are inflaming tribal divisions, and you fall foul of the law. Like in the UK now, if you start coming to the UK and start saying things that are discriminatory against or prejudicial against the people, like the way they say about Fulanis in Nigeria right now, you fall foul of the law. And that, rightly so, because we have to have a way of talking about each other in a civil way without putting the backs up of the other side, because that's what leads to this tension between the groups. And that's a good one. And this in Kezo said about the tribe, this in distribution of resources, is also a good one. But the point I was addressing was about how we unconsciously, subliminally reinforce the negative stereotypes and the negative impressions. Or how do I put it? We promote ideas that are actually detrimental to what we want to see. It's like saying the NSAS protesters, they didn't accomplish anything. In other words, you are selling them short. They accomplished something. Because if you acknowledge that, it also affects how you go on to act. Because if tomorrow you want to do something and you thought the NSAS protesters never accomplished anything, you will never dare. If you thought Abiola was a failure, you will never want to do the right thing. This is how you condition yourself to see everything as negative. And then when your leaders behave the way you've all been conditioned to behave, which is selfish, you hate them for it. And it's a vicious circle.
And also I wanted to say, last time in the discussion, you said like Kiswahili was a very popular language in East African bloc. But I also wanted to say that you forgot one thing also. Do you know like the Hausa language is the most popular language in West Africa? It's spoken in Nigeria, Niger, Ghana, Togo, Benin, Burkina Faso. The question I wanted to ask other Africans from other African regions, like the tribal, are they willing to learn that language to make it like a regional bloc language? Will other tribes be willing to accept that?
Yes. Actually, I am a Fulani myself. My grandfather, they came from Sierra Leone. I mean, they came from Senegal and then moved to Sierra Leone. They were selling cows. They were dealing with cow trade. So they went to Sierra Leone to sell cows, and then that's how we end up there. They settled over there. So, as you said, the Fulani language is very broad, not just in West Africa. You can find them all the way down to Sudan, all the way down to Nigeria, Cameroon.
I mean the Hausa language.
The Hausa and they consider themselves Fulani, basically.
No, they do not. It's a completely different language.
No, the language is different. But I'm talking about they call themselves, like they're trying to integrate themselves into the Fulani tribe. The Fulani tribe itself is large. You have different type. You have the Pulos. You have it's different type of Fulanis. You have the ones in Guinea. You know, they speak a little bit different, but it's the same metaphors that they use. They have the same culture. They all sell cows. They all cherish cows, and then they see cow like something that is very important in the society, basically. So it's the same culture, basically. I understand where you're coming from. The Hausa is a standalone, basically.
Exactly.
They don't join the Fulani or consider themselves Fulani because of the Muslim thing. Like
exactly,
Islam was spread, and then they have the Sokoto Caliphate. And then you have Futa Jalon in Guinea, and then Futa Toro in Senegal. That was after all these caliphates were established. Yes. You know, that was so that's when the outside actually integrated.
And also speaking from a Muslim perspective, sleeping from a Muslim perspective, you know, like
no, brother, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm a black man because look, I'm a Pan-Africanist. I'm a black man before any religion. Religion can come.
No, I'm not a religious. I'm not a religious person.
You know, anywhere I go.
Okay, I'm not a religious person. I'm not saying you speaking from a Muslim perspective. I'm just sharing something that I've gathered over the years from the African Muslim perspective on this platform. You know, like most of like the Muslim Africans, you know, they view their religion ahead of everything, you know. And
well, that's the great thing that they've done. They did it to our grandfathers. They did it to my father. You know, but this generation is a new generation. You know, people like me, I view myself as a black man before anything. Anywhere I go, I'm a black man before anything. Anything else falls after. My tribe falls after. My everything else falls after. But I'm everywhere I go, I'm a black man. And secondly, I'm an African. You know, my country could come last, basically.
No, you're absolutely right. I agree with you on that. I want to share something.
Can I disagree on one point you made?
Hold on, I just want to share something. Please, just give me a second. So, like from a Muslim perspective, right? They kind of raise a lot of Muslim Africans to marry within the same religion, regardless of which tribe you come from. So it's very hard to find a Muslim that come from a particular tribe and then marry from a different tribe that is not a Muslim. In most African societies. I'm not saying that there are no few exceptions to that.
That is the culture, and we still practice it. The reason why, because we have our own culture, and if I explain to you, one of our culture is that to preserve, first of all, the blood, it has to be pure, and secondly, and we don't want to bring bastards into our purity, because Islam forbids us to bring bastards. Even the Bible forbids you to bring bastards into your
What?
family.
Yeah, what the what? The what?
I'm not.
telling you that is just our culture.
Hold on. I'm
You
not
know,
trying to
you
spew
cannot take our
hatred.
culture, bro. That's just what we believe in, and you have to either believe it or not. You know,
Yeah,
that's
I'm not
just
trying
what
to
we
spew
do.
hatred, but I'm just sharing an information from what a lot of Muslim Africans think on this platform. Do you understand? I'm not saying that's what I believe in, but that's how I grew up believing it until I started watching Pan-African TV shows like Diners and Kala when I was in Cyprus, and I started to change my mind and my perspectives. But I
Yeah,
just want to share that with you. Exactly.
yeah, I understand it, but the reason why they do that is for them to preserve their sisters from causing this, because bringing a bastard in our family is a sin, basically. You know, we view that as a big sin. Like you bring a curse into the family, and other families will laugh at our family, like,
Okay,
oh,
well,
you guys are, you know,
okay,
like,
one more time. Okay, what's considered a bastard? Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you
huh?
talk about?
So you want me to clarify that?
Yeah, clarify that, please.
So basically, what I would say is, in a way, like if I have my brother, right, and then he end up and the family, we have the family structure, or he's the oldest or I'm the youngest, he's supposed to be like the leader that everybody else follow, the oldest one, right? So if you go out there and have a child without getting married to a woman, and we are very secret. It's a
Okay, that's
secret
what you mean.
thing.
Okay. So no,
Yeah. So the
out
father
of
was
okay,
cursed.
out of a lot
Yeah,
more. Okay.
they just kick him out of the family, basically, because he brought shame to the family. You know. So that's
Okay.
what it is.
So I was just sticking to the topic of today's conversation, and I was just sharing that how some Africans who come from a particular faith see other Africans, because you say like why other Africans hate other Africans and not their colonizers. Do you understand? And the reason why I was saying that is like this is how they teach them growing up, and they stick to their tribe, and also people who come from the same religious faith. They see like people from other religious faiths and coming from a different tribe as something completely different. They might be willing to marry someone who might be a non-African but come from the same faith as someone who's African and come from a different faith, which is very like dangerous to some extent. You know, I realized that when I traveled to the Western country, and then the issue of race become very important to me. You know, regardless of your religious affiliation.
Can
I say something?
I think that's what happened to the Yoruba people too. They said the Yoruba people were not a people
Naja.
until the slavery period when they were
Naja.
taken away. So they were grouped together. Go ahead.
Now I'll just say something. Yeah, I'm a Congolese. Yeah, I made like my parents have different over 4 tribes. Yeah, in my family. My mom, my dad, different tribe. Even my grandma, different tribe. My grandpa, different tribe. I married a South African who's like from Mandela tribes. You know, so it's not about just tribes thing. It's just about evil people, like some group of African who hate other African. Not just about tribe. Tribe is a good thing. There's no problem with that. There's no problem with tribe. Me, my country, we have over 200 language. Like Nigeria, we have over 1,000, over 100 tribes. Yeah, different tribes. Our president back in the day, Mobutu, fixed that problem, this tribal problem. One of the guys he mentioned on the video a few minutes ago, he fixed that problem on tribes long time ago. That's why many African presidents, leaders back in the day, they did not fix that problem, that the tribes problem. Now, if you go in Congo, we have one language unite all of us, Lingala. We all speak Lingala, but they have their own language, they have their own food. We all come together, we all marry each other. That way, it's hard to get the tribes, to other tribes. We all under one flag, one country, one people. Like I say, if I say my mom's Muluba, my father Lingala, my other, just there's no way I can hate other tribe because I am from there. The president of my country now is from my mom tribes. You know, so I cannot hate him. It's hard. It's just like not all Africa like that.
And also, Diners, you don't know much about the African, the Hausa tribe. Hausa language is the popular language in West Africa, and it's not just only in Nigeria. It is there in Niger.
What's with
Ghana.
this Hausa supremacist thing you've been pushing?
No, I'm not pushing.
No, but Zongo, I wanted to correct you on that point there. You can't compare Hausa to Swahili. Hausa is spoken with Hausas and Fulanis. Swahili is just one small insignificant tribe in Kenya and Tanzania, and it's spoken by different tribes. So that's what I did. So
West Africa.
No, I think you're missing my point, brother. What I'm trying to say is Hausa and Fulani language, even if it's spoken across different West African countries, is spoken by the same two people, Hausas and Fulanis. So for other tribes to try to learn that language, it's not going to happen. While Swahili, hang on. While Swahili is spoken by over 8 different countries with hundreds of different tribes equally, and it's also legislated into certain countries like Tanzania and Kenya and East Congo as as a lingua franca by the people. The point here is Hausa and Fulani is only spoken by Hausas and Fulanis in those countries.
Yes, Hausa Fulani is hold
on, one mic. Stop. I can't even hear you. African Pioneer, go ahead, African Pioneer. African Pioneer, you're gonna mute yourself, and then we'll pass the NGTO 92 after that. African Pioneer, go ahead. Okay, I guess. Hold on 1 second. Give me a second. Okay.
I think the situation is we need to, like Reddy said, yes, we have tribalism issue, but we also have bad people within the tribalism issue, right? And if you're saying that we should remove the borders, that's, we should all go our separate ways. There's going to be more wars with that than the actual borders. Because let's say there was this lady from, I think there's a feedback. There was a lady from Congo that actually said something about this, I think was a Liberian chick. And the Liberian people came for her. Like this, you're from a whole different country talking down to a Liberian person from a whole different country. And we still have borders. So imagine with no borders. It's going to be World War III every single time someone, starts shit. So that's one thing people don't understand, is that it's not necessarily tribal people. It's just the people in it, that's causing this wake of, everybody has to be tribalism and this and that. That, like, I agree with Reddy. We have evil people everywhere we go. Okay. And splitting the African countries is just going to make it more of an easier target for them, in my opinion.
So, and it's because of what you said that there are evil people about. Who are the evil people that the Africans see causing harm to them? Is fellow Africans. That's why they don't think, hey, it's the white man. I know some people might think it's an excuse, but if that's what you see on a monthly basis, your own people who are evil, some of your people who are evil, you're going to look at them and say, listen, I need to stop these people. It's not like you hate them. That's what you see. That's what you experience. So it's like I said, before I came to England, I used to hate the police. Why did I hate the police? It had nothing to do with racism. It's because I grew up in Nigeria under military dictatorships. The area that I lived in, to go in and out of that area, you had checkpoints. And the police were very brutal. They were unfriendly. They'd come up and sometimes they'd want bribes. Same reason why I hated the military, because I grew up under military dictatorships of Babangida and Buhari, and the part of Lagos I lived in. Every other day there were armored vehicles and sirens going past, because I lived near Dodon Barracks, which at one point was the military supreme headquarters for the president. I know Babangida was living there for a while, so we always used to see the military. That's what I saw. That's why I hate the military. It's because I saw black people doing bad things to other black people, Africans doing bad things to other Africans. That's why I ended up, thinking that way. That's the way most people are, I think. We can't blame them.
Yeah, a lot of our people have been conditioned to hate the military because of this reason, and hence why whenever you tell them that they need to strengthen their defenses, they subliminally balk against the idea without any real justification. So that conditioning has to go. We have to let it off, because one way or other, this is the way of the world. The Europeans, they fought world wars, killed each other in droves, and they woke up and decided that, you know what, we are going to sort it out and create an European Union. and figured it out to work with each other, and they did. If we cannot learn from that, then what does that make us? Every other group has figured it out. It's only us that are remaining. We have to figure it out.
You know, with all this situation that's happening, one thing that people need to understand is that within the tribes, this tribalism, people are still marrying within the tribes. You know, Igbo is marrying Yoruba, Yoruba is marrying Hausa. You know, so the Ashantis is marrying a God. You know, at the end of the day, we can still have our own tribalism crap. We're still marrying from different tribes within the country at the end of the day. So that's why I keep saying that it's not necessarily tribalism situation. It's just the people. And we need to start holding those people accountable, you know, because they're the one rubbing everyone the wrong way. It's just like in America now. We have the FBA, ADOS, Pan-African. All of them are all attacking each other, even though they all want the same thing. But when they hear FBA talk to a Pan-African, they think that they're saying something different. No, you guys are saying the same thing. It's just you're saying it the way you want to be heard. You know what I mean? So that's just how I see it. That's one thing people need to know, is that everything is not all about tribalism when it comes to relationship justice.
I just wanted to say, why would I want to support the military in Nigeria? Not too long ago, villages in Kaduna were absolutely destroyed by Nigerian pilots who had been trained in the UK, in Cobham, near Surrey. They were trained on how to fly helicopters. They then got onto the helicopters, and because of some dispute, decided to massacre a number of villages up in Kaduna. That would never happen in the UK or America. You wouldn't have the military going into, I don't know, Chattanooga to massacre people because they had a difference of opinion, and you wouldn't have that. But that's why it's like, you can't treat, sometimes I think maybe you can't treat an old dog new tricks. You give the military more power in certain parts of Africa, and what are they going to do? They turn on the people as soon as the people want to politically protest. That's why I don't trust them, and I don't make any bones about it. I will never trust the military, not just in Nigeria, but most parts of Africa, from what I've seen over the last.
Well, that is a recipe for perpetual weakness. That is a recipe. You have your chance. Sorry. That is a recipe for perpetual weakness. If you decide that because your military, you hate them, you are not going to have them. You don't like, nobody likes cancer operations or cancer chemotherapy, but you have to have them if you have to survive as a people. We can't expect that these things are going to happen, like, you know, without bloodshed or very easily. We just talked about, I just mentioned about the Second World War.
You're not listening to what I said. I'm not saying get rid of the military. I'm not saying get rid of the military. There must be checks and balances where the military are held to account for the atrocities that they commit. That is a rarity in the history of Nigeria. That's not a debate.
So you think they got away with that one? What they did?
Well, I've got the details here. Tell me who got arrested for what was done in those Kaduna villages. Who was put under trial?
I know that a lot of military people have been dismissed. A lot of people have been arrested. Some of them for even trivial reasons. So if they got away with that one, that would be interesting. I would like to look at that. I don't know about that, but I know of military officials that have been jailed for far less. So,
and who was jailed for the murder of Dele Giwa in the 80s? The editor of the Newsweek, who complained about the military government when his house was letter bombed, which was a big deal in the 80s. I remember growing up because you didn't have letter bombs. Who in the military was held to account for that under that dictatorship? Who has spent time in prison for that murder?
See, we all don't like those things. See, we cannot complete two things. Bad things happen. We all know that. But we still have to keep our heads straight, because if we get distracted and traumatized by such events, we are not going to see clearly. So sorry, one man, you can go.
All right, thank you.
Woman. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hit the like button. Please hit that like button. Do me a favor and hit the like button, family. Hit that like button. All right, man.
Yeah, please hit on the like button. I mean, the effort is being made, and it doesn't really, it's not a spend, you know, when you hit on the like button. It's actually free of charge. So hit on the like button. But yeah, Dinas, thank you. Sorry, I was fleshing out a position before I went to attend to matters, but I think we're somewhat skirting around the big issues that we really should be focused on in conversations like this. The African problem, especially the sub-Saharan African space, which is the cusp of West and East Africa, it is in twofold: tribe and religion. Those are the two problems we're contending with. So I don't know why we don't want to face it headlong. And it's in two folds the problems we're contending with in Africa, and it is tribe, and it is religion. In Nigeria, it is tribe and religion. In Rwanda, it is tribe and religion. In Sierra Leone, where you are, Diners, it is tribe and religion. And everywhere else, it is tribe and religion. So why are we not taking it head on if we really want to take on this matter? And it is the way the African country, I did send a link. I hope you had the opportunity to have a look at it. If you haven't, I will encourage you to do that in your spare time. If you look at the composition of the African states, and inherent in that is where the problem of Africa is. You have ethnic nations that are standalone nations by themselves under any other guise being forced together to form a country, and you wonder why they are hemorrhaging. The Hausa Fulanis, they're essentially predominantly all through history warring people. They are people of the sword, and they always have been people of the sword. All the ethnic compositions of the Nigerian space, they are people of particular peculiarities. So when you bring all of those peculiarities together to form a nation, then you find in that mix what evolves as a country like Nigeria. So the problem of Africa, if we really want to take it head on, Diners, it is all about ethnicity and religion. It doesn't really go beyond that, and that is 80% of the resolution of the African Malays. The religion we practice in Africa, all foreign to us, Abrahamic religion from the Middle East, Christianity from Lebanon, Islam from Saudi Arabia. Which of those religions look like you and I? Which of those religions? I come from Oyo-Alafin, which is in the southwestern part of Nigeria. Well, our history goes deep and long. We worship Shango where I come from. So quite what are this? So it is all embedded in that. All the clashes in Nigeria centered around religion and oftentimes around tribe. In whichever country all of the individual compositions of your panel come from, all the clashes in those countries centered around those two themes. So those are the two themes, Diners, that we should be discussing, not the military, not the colonialist, not XYZ, but this ABC. So that is really, Diners, where I think the conversation should be.
Did you just hear him? He just promoted that we should endeavor to, because that's your argument. Your argument is, let's talk about tribalism, not the toxic aspect of it.
That's not what I said.
Let's talk about religion stuff. Let's not talk about our defense. You literally said that.
No,
let's not talk about our defense, because I said not talk about military.
I think what he was saying is that
for them, they are intelligent enough to understand. But yeah,
let him talk then.
Tunaja, I think what he was saying is that you have to listen to the perspective, because one of the problems that we face in Africa is about tribe and religion. And I came on this platform to share from how the Muslim people think, and you guys just dispensing me that I'm just a Hausa. How do you call it? Like a nationalist or something like that.
I didn't dismiss you.
No, of course, Tunaja. I think for me, I think your opinion is very respected, and even you go to the Hausa people, they're gonna respect you on that, because you speak very impartially. From the way I see you speak, from someone coming from Nigeria and coming from a different tribe, if I can be very clear with you. So I think Tunaja, you spoke very impartially. And most of the Hausa people, when they listen to you, they're going to give you their 100% support.
That was the problem there. Now, in regards to what one man was saying, actually,
and also
religion and tribe was brought up.
Let me
finish
my statement. Yes. And as far as like the idea of religion that I was trying to share with you is that most of the African Muslims, when they raise them, they tell them not to marry from other tribes. And they tell them to see other tribes practicing other religion as people from the pagan religion, and they're going to go to hell. So this is something which is really intrinsic in their DNA and inherent in them. So if we want to like try to find a way to bring some kind of understanding among Africans who hate other Africans, then we got to tackle some of the religion, the tribalism that is, that occurs among these various tribes.
Is it by force to marry our sister?
Wait,
I'm sorry?
well, hold on. But what you guys are talking about was already discussed. NG 2092 also said a lot about it, talking about how tribalism is pushed a lot by the older generation and how we need to address that. Religion was always brought up. And in regards to the Hausa thing, the only reason I said to you you were a Hausa supremacist because you kept on pushing this notion that for some reason the language that most West Africans should learn is Hausa or something, because you said that they were the biggest tribe, which I thought was bizarre. It's like you kept pushing this Hausa thing. Yeah, everybody has to speak Hausa because they're the bigger population.
No, I wasn't pushing that. The topic of the conversation says why other Africans hate other Africans, right? But then they love the colonizers. So I just made a proposition because the last time on Dinah's show, they said that like Swahili was a very popular language in West Africa. And why don't we as Africans embrace the language which is widely spoken? And I just made a proposition since the Hausa language is a language which is widely spoken in West Africa. Will other Africans embrace that language? And we saw a pushback. And this is why other Africans hate Africans.
Well, because the problem you've got here is, and this was done by Reddy as well. Reddy gave us a great insight into where he's from. Africa is the second largest continent in the world. Regionally, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. Now, he mentioned his lineage, his mixture of different ethnic groups, and how within his country, he was telling us they don't really have it as bad as other African countries. So we can't come up with some one-size-fits-all solution for the whole of the continent. You have to look at each country in there. I mean, it's all well and good you pushing the Hausa thing.
But what I was saying, I wasn't proposing.
Can I ask Illyria a question? Sorry, Zando, can I ask Illyria a question? So in a hierarchy of needs, what would you say the most pressing concern of our, and let's not say Africa, let's say Black Africa is? What would you say, if you had a choice or two, what would you say the most pressing area of concerns for Black Africa is?
Me personally, I try to make things as basic as possible. For me, it's basically economic empowerment. When I say that, I mean there are too many people who are unemployed, too many people who can't sustain themselves. You need to make it possible for the man and the woman to be able to get good jobs and sustain themselves within that economy. That's the way I look at it first. Before I do anything else, those people at the bottom need to have jobs, need to have job security, which we take for granted in the West. They don't have that in most parts of Africa. That's the way I see it. Sorry.
And how do you see that happening? What's your pathway to that?
Well, I could talk about economic policies which need to be pushed, but the problem is those who are in charge, whether it's local government or higher than that, federal government, will they implement those policies? Will they implement policies to help push in certain taxes which would help smaller businesses get tax breaks, so you can push the economy so that smaller people will be able to start smaller businesses and have the support of the states, like what they're doing in the UK, what they were trying to do, especially over the last 2 years with the lockdown and stuff like that. I'd like to see that in certain African countries. Try and help the people who are setting up small businesses. Try and give them certain tax breaks so you can push that. That's what I want, so the ordinary people can actually start earning money and making a living.
What do you think has stopped us from getting there? No, hold on. What do you think has stopped us from getting there? See, the reason why he's asking this question is that he's going to lead you on a different path. No, because I've been to your channel, so all you do is talk about tribal stuff. We don't have time. I don't have time for that. Let me say what I've got to say. Because you've had your say. You've had your say. Okay, good. Let me just say what I want to say. Okay, good.
Well, hold on. Let Tunaja finish, then one man will pass it back to you. Go ahead, Tunaja.
See, we cannot have the luxury of keep decimating. How do I put it? A kind of delineating and asking this question about tribes here. We don't have that luxury. Sooner or later, somebody has to say enough. We have to come together. We don't care about tribes because there's a greater threat out there. And that's the problem I have with people like this in one man. They're highly intelligent, highly educated, and all they focus on is the small things. They talk about religion and you have a channel. I'm telling you, I'm calling it as I see you. Can I finish?
don't
Can I finish?
my words. There's a reason
No,
why.
see, you have the right to respond. You had your chance to respond.
Yeah,
Let me just say what I say.
Also, that I removed you from my platform for a reason.
No. Because you like to promote the same things because you don't want people to talk about the greater threat to our people. You want to be promoting Yoruba, Fulani, Hausa, Igbo. That's all you want to talk about day in, day out.
How is that the question?
Isn't that what they accuse you of on your channel? This is what they accuse you of on your channel all the time. Because you are going around, you are going to bring them back to the same position. Can I finish? You are not letting me get to my point. Let me finish. Okay? Let me finish. I'm actually complimenting you too.
Let him finish.
While I'm saying all this, I'm actually complimenting you.
Let him fit 2 notches. You got 30 seconds, and then pass the one, man. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm actually complimenting him. I said these are intelligent people that go around just navigating about tribal stuff. Why do you think I cannot?
Let him finish. Let one man. You'll have your time. Just give him 30 seconds. Then I'm gonna cut him off. Go ahead. You got 30 seconds.
Yeah, we navigating on this tribalism when we should be focusing on a bigger threat here. When we keep focusing on this type of things, this is what has made us weak. We always wanted economic growth. Why have we not got it? That question is not relevant. We keep trying for economic growth. Without security, you can't get it. You always have to look at how you are going to fix your people and get your people defended. Otherwise, anything you want to do is like building sandcastles by the beach. It just goes away again. This is why we've not been able to secure even 24/7 electricity in Nigeria, an economy that's $500 billion. So this talk about tribalism, religion, and all the rest, we should be talking about how we get rid of it, not navigating on them. And he doesn't do that. That is my problem.
Sorry, do you mind? Sorry, Diners. I must address you, Diners. If I am the topic, then put my name as the topic. If I am not the topic, then all these ad hominems that I'm getting so there is a history between me and this chap on your platform. I've had to remove him.
You call him chap? You call him chap?
You see, that's how he talks. You see, that's how he talks. He talks garbage constantly. It's not only me. Other Nigerian channels don't even like him coming there. Okay, fine.
You guys are both British, black British. That's very British. So, I mean,
all right. So there is a reason why. So if I am the topic, then let me be the topic. Then I know that I am up for discussion. But if I'm not the topic, then please moderate the ad hominems, because I can't even seem to say hello without being leapt upon. So I was trying to have a conversation with Larry around what he sees as the pathway for Africa. So I'm not quite sure how the chap deviated to tribe and religion.
See, he's not even talking about it.
Let him finish, man. It's very British. You guys are both Brits, right? Let it chap. Yeah, chap.
So play the ball, not the man. Play the ball, not the man. So play the topic, not me. So I am not the topic for discussion. And what I was inviting Diners was because tribe and religion as part of the problems we're contending with in Africa. You've lived around. I see you going all the way through Yoruba land, all the way through Africa. So you have a good feel of Africa, probably more than most of the people on this platform, Diners. So you know that tribe and religion is central to the problem. So is that the only problem? No. But should we say it's not part of the problem? No, we cannot. So it is part of the mix, but is it the only thing? No. What I was inviting as a conversation from your panelist, Larry, is what he saw as a pathway to emancipation for Africa. Before I was deviated again.
Oh, sorry, I was talking about Nigeria. I can't speak on Africa. I was talking about Nigeria. Sorry.
Oh yeah. So Nigeria, by extension, Africa. If Nigeria liberates, then Africa, and by extension. And do you agree with that statement, by the way, Larry, that if Nigeria finds its way, it liberates both not only the rest of Black Africa, but the entire black race. So Nigeria, the key to Black emancipation.
I agree. I agree with that. I think this upcoming election is very, very, oh my goodness, very, very pivotal in the direction that the Black race goes in. Go ahead.
Sorry, can you finish? I thought he had something to say.
No, tonight, I want.
So he can answer it or anybody can.
Sorry,
Okay,
yeah, I agree with what Dynast's response to your question. The thing I wanted to quickly ask, because Niger keeps on mentioning security, are you saying that the country doesn't have enough military police to provide security for it? What do you mean when you say security, please? Can you tell me?
They don't have it. One Nigerian soldier has to defend 2,000 citizens. When one American soldier with all the advanced and most advanced weapons technology has to defend 150. And we are getting the security we paid for. And this is things that educated people, that's what really gets to me. That people are educated, they should know these things and they leave it like that. And first start talking about tribalism. We are getting the security we paid for.
And because the security, because the security, in your opinion, is weak, who are we at threat from? Who is going to take advantage?
Oh, Niger.
Name it. Everybody.
Let me answer that, bro.
Niger.
Everybody. I can give you an example.
We have
I can give you an example. No, sorry. Let me make it simple. You go out to work every day. Leave your doors open. Advertise all your wealth that you have in your house. Where you put your everything. Advertise it and see how you progress. All your work will be lost eventually. You will never progress. And that is how our countries are run today. We run our countries with an open door policy. Nobody is protecting anything. And this is unique to black people. It's not in any other part of the world. Even North Africa is not like that. And we are not focusing on this serious problem that we have. Talking about security, the tribe, and all the rest of it.
I think the point that you're saying, I think you're absolutely right. Investing in our security is very paramount as Africans, and we should be able to have a level playing field with our counterparts in other continents across the world. But hold on. But one thing that this one man said about religion and tribe, I think, Tunaja, you gotta look at it from a very positive perspective. You understand? The reason why I'm saying is that, Kwame Nkrumah, he came from a Fanti tribe. So when he came to Ghana and he wanted to emancipate the people of Ghana to achieve independence, the group of Africans who went to the Queen to tell her that they were not ready for independence were a group of Ashanti people. And they approached that from a very tribal perspective. You understand? Because they wanted the power to themselves and they feel like they were the majority tribe within Ghana. You understand? So in as much as security is very important, I think some of the very dishonesty that comes with, tribalism and religion, which really does not favor the interests of the black race or many black African countries in totality, I think if we give it a hearing, it will help a very long way in addressing some of these problems and helping further to kind of like, strengthen our security in Africa. Because if we have a strong security and we have like tribal loopholes or religious loopholes, that can serve us, that can potentially be something very disservice to our people and the black race in general.
Dinas, can I address that security topic? Then I have to leave for reasons of our other committee.
Go ahead. And to try not to address interrupt, please. Go ahead.
I won't.
well,
I promise.
All right. So insecurity is a problem, yes, but it's a subset of a greater malaise that afflicts the African state. Using Nigeria as an example, because I can only use Nigeria as an example, because in terms of Black Africa, Nigeria is the only really country that has any that's. Let me be brutish in language and say Nigeria is the only country that is of any real significance in Black Africa, really, if we condense all the figures to land on that point. So if we use Nigeria as a test case, insecurity is one of the things that Nigeria is contending with the most, but is it the most paramount of its problems? No. The most important thing, setting aside the two items that I've already identified as tribe and religion, but the most important thing immediately to the Nigerian equation is our institutions. So we don't have strong institutions in Nigeria, and that is where the problem really is with a state like Nigeria. And I think that replicates all the way through the sub-West African space and all of Black Africa as well. You don't have strong institutions in Nigeria or any of the Black African countries as well. So you have strong men, not strong institutions. And that really added on to the two that I've already identified is the trilogy, it's a tripod that the stagnation of that continent vests upon. So if you had strong institutions, for instance, if you had an independent enough policing force, you had an independent enough judicial force, and you had an independent enough military that are not dependent on the largesse of the strong man in the center, a lot of these problems that we have in Nigeria and by extension the rest of Black Africa will within a period of 3 to 5 years, they will quickly dissipate. So it is really strong institutions, not strong men. So the narrative around insecurity is wrapped around that narrative of our lack of strong institutions, which is essentially what afflicts the African state. So a trilogy, tribe, religion, and institution, and that mix, that trilogy, that tripod is the stagnation, is what is pinning the development and growth of that continent to the ground. So thank you, Dinos. I'll look out for when next you're streaming, because I especially enjoy intelligent conversations, and I think you're bringing that to us. So keep up the good work.
It's interesting hearing from you. Interesting hearing what you have to say. Hopefully,
thank you. No problem. Anytime.
Well,
okay, so I didn't interrupt him. I was believe you me, strong institutions, you have to go to the fundamental. I've heard people talk all this stuff. We've been talking about it for 60 years. The only people that wanted to do the right things, they were taken out. What did they want to do? They wanted to build a military, an independent military deterrent. And that's why they took them out. If you really want to take control, this is common sense. Even in the streets, the gangsters, mafia, they know what it is. If you want to take control, you have to control your defense first, because that's how you build your strong institutions so that they don't get destroyed. Anything you build will come to naught. I actually studied in a field where we describe that civil engineers build stuff and other people, we design stuff to go and destroy it. Because there are people that understand that the true power in this world is about power of the military. That is the basis of all the nations you have on earth. And if you miss that and start talking about institutions, about LGBT or culture or tribes, why do you think Russia did what they did? Stalin did what they did. Most of these countries have tribes, they have groups. China, the same thing. They went crazy. They killed a lot of people. These people went crazy. They killed a lot of their people. When they showed me those documentaries on TV, I asked myself, why would these people obey such order? Now I'm beginning to understand that the people that have been stuck in a Malay for a very long time, they suffered so much, and they want to do everything to get rid of it. They are willing to kill their own fellow citizens to create that future for themselves. And they did. They did. My own approach is to try to do it in a way that we don't need to spill blood. We have to figure out a way to create a defense that don't require us to make such sacrifices. And talking, navel-gazing about tribalism and about religion, yes, if they get in your way, talk to them, let them know what you are trying to do, and get them out of your way. The ones that need to do the job, they don't have to be there that many. 20%, 10% can get this done, because when people see good results, they will follow. That's how these things work, and we have to be courageous and do what needs to be done.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree about having a military. What I worry about, which I've mentioned, is we need checks and balances for that military. Now, I don't just say that out of just fear of the military. If I look at Nigeria's history, they were working hard on the institution, and what happened? You had a strong military that just decided to take power. You had in the 60s, the 70s, you just had military dictatorships because they were powerful. So I want to know, if we have this security, what are the checks and balances to hold military personnel to account for what they do? Because we don't have that. We're just going to have a strong security that might just turn on the people. I need to know, how do we implement checks and balances to control them?
From my experience, when you have a military that is stressed and the people are stressed, you are going to see this type of outcomes. Nigerian military is stressed. I just told you, one soldier has to defend 2,000 citizens. That is not normal. Even security guards that guard ShopRite, it's not that ratio. and we are straight. I feel bad for them, really. They are doing an impossible job. And why do we subject our own military to these things? And people don't understand it, and they sit there supporting lecturers that go on strike while soldiers are dying. I don't get it. I really don't understand how our people think like this. I don't know how we got here.
But you think?
Well, let's do. One mic. Let's do this because we have to close out. I'm gonna let America's First Rifleman speak, and then we're gonna go in and close out. America's First Rifleman, go ahead.
All right, this has been one of the more interesting shows I've listened to, and as an African American, I want to ask a question. Hopefully, you can shed some light on this as well, Dinah, since you're the African American, but you're also more knowledgeable and you've been around the continent, so you have a lot of knowledge. Where, as an African American, what can I do to maybe help take down the negative aspects of tribalism? Because just my history, you hear all the negative stuff about tribalism, and you put on CNN and all the atrocities that happen between tribes over the years. Should I just stand to the side and not pay attention to her, none of my business, or is there just something I can do to kind of help in that? If anybody can answer that,
I'm gonna let you, Niger, answer.
I think there's a gift that the diaspora can offer. One, they have an amalgamation of most of the tribes of Africa in them, and they have perspective. And they also have the impartiality aspect to it too. So their voice is always welcome on the continent, and I think it's also quite important because when they talk on the continent, you can't attach them to any tribe. They are not partial. They are telling you that this is what I see, and I think the diaspora's voice is actually important on the continent. And if you want to offer it, I think people will hear you out, and as long as it's honest, they will want to hear you out. You see what I mean? Because they can't place you. You are Fula, you are Niger, you are Congolese, you've got it all. So I think it's important. And that bridge also is also important, because, the diaspora, especially the African Americans, they have proximity to power in terms of being in the most powerful country in the world. That too is important. So yes, it's relevant, but how the mechanism to get these things done, maybe it's through the African Union, maybe it's through ECOWAS, maybe it's through East African blocks. Do you know that Africa has a Pan-African Parliament? So that too, you could go through that part too. So there are parts that they are creating on the continent to enable this kind of input. And I think that when African Americans get in there, they will listen to them. The other diasporas, let me not just say it's only African American, Jamaicans, they're all so welcome.
Also, I want to say one thing. I'm gonna hop off. Everybody, I know people get annoyed when Niger brings up the military, but one thing you have to, and this is just a basic military principle or just a basic principle that governs the world. Look, having a big and powerful Navy is the power basis to projecting power from your country. Nigeria, I think, has the perfect opportunity to up their Navy so they can project power in a good way that can help them in a continent. So I just me, if I was a Nigerian voter, I would love to see a politician move forward with a good and comprehensive plan on how they're going to make their Navy great. So hopefully, I know that's off subject, but I just wanted to add to that. So keep going, Niger. I'm on your side on that one.
I suspect.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say something real quick.
Okay, let's do this. NGTO92, go ahead and close us out.
Okay, so I definitely agree with American First Rifle that having a good military would really help a lot of African countries. And I mean, a lot. And what I'm going to say is that I want every African country to pull its weight as well, because that's also how we can also unite technically, right? And I do believe that Nigeria will definitely pave the way for a lot of countries. However, we do have other African countries that's doing really good that we also want them to speak out. But for some reason, they're not doing that. So that also is what's kind of, hurting Africa as well. Just like last year, when COVID hit in 2020, they were expecting African people to just be falling dead on the street, but we didn't have that, right? And Africa had the lowest case in all of the continents on the earth. Now, fast forward to 2000 and towards the end of 2020, going into 2021, and into I think either earlier 2021 or December 2021, South Africa came out and said that they found is it Omicron or Delta COVID on their side. And guess what happened? Immediately, not just America, but Europe immediately coined us and said, oh, the African disease. They didn't even call it COVID anymore. They didn't even call it anything else. They just call it Africa disease. How dare they say that? Guess who came out and defended it and actually said that what they did was racist? It was Nigerian people. So we want other African countries to start defending Africa to the core. Whether you are angry with another tribe or whatever, we have to unite. And it starts with every single country. Because if we don't unite, they're going to see us as literally bottom of the barrel. Like, that's just a perfect example for them to literally name it. They had the opportunity to just say, oh, the African disease, because Africa had the lowest COVID cases. So they saw the opportunity to make us look bad again, and they took it. And no one came to defend Africa. But we keep talking about unity and Pan-Africanism, but no one is doing anything. No one is doing anything.
There's a disease in Ghana.
But listen, we have to close out. Hey, everyone, thank you.
Let me just say, sorry, Mike, please, let me just say something to Larry, because I didn't answer his question the last time. Very briefly, 15 seconds. Larry, I hear your concerns about the military. When the military becomes less stressed, you are probably going to see more professionalism from them. What is happening right now is not normal. They are stressed, just like the Nigerian people. You see so many depraved acts. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, Family Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. Goodbye.